Fangs of Fury. Rather nice artwork on the cover. From what I remember, the artwork on the inside wasn't always that inspiring in all cases though. Let's just take a look. 6 massive stone dragons guard the tiny kingdom of Zamora. But the fire they breathe has been extinguished now. Zamora is under siege by Ostrogoth the Grim and his swarming hordes. His aim is to destroy the 12 wizards of the Mage Order and spread the evil of the enchanted Who came up with that name? Jaarty? What is that, French or something? Throughout Kull. Not Krull, but Kull. Kull was that guy with the fidget spinner of doom that he could fling around and kill things with. The Sentinel's fire must be restored to its former power, and you have volunteered for the task. You're glorifying. But I suppose it would be glorifying in some way. Your terrifying mission will take you to the white-hot core of the volcano known as the Fangs of Fury. And there is no time to lose. Let's just take a look. As always, you get... Well, in this case, you actually get a nice little map, which is a bit different from most of these books. Most of them don't tend to have maps in them. Well, you do sometimes wonder just how much of that map area you're actually going through, but you don't really get an actual scale of sorts anyhow, so it's hard to really tell. Yeah, the usual skills, stamina, battles, luck, fighting more than one creature, luck, restoring everything, equipment, luck, gold, gems and cubes and whatnot. You begin the adventure with 10 gold coins, mark these on your adventure sheet in the gold box. You also given 4 black cubes. Add these to the upper section of the cube box. The adventure sheet also contains a gem box. There are 4 types: star, crystals, blue gems, yellow gems, etc. Oh, where did I get 4 types from? I misread something there, didn't I? Oh well, never mind. The Citadel Rules. You're in a race against time. The besieging armies of Ostrogoth the Grim will be attempting to breach the 14 Zamaran walls of defense to kill the 12 wizards. 14 walls. Good luck there, pal. Let's hope they're actually developed properly. You have a bracelet attached to your wrist that will glow each time one of the walls of defense has been breached. When the last walls have been penetrated, the wizards will be killed and the bracelet you wear will kill you. Oh, that's nice. Each time the bracelet glows, you must place a white flag of King Elador Zamar with the Zamara, or even with the black flag of the Ostrogoth Alliance. Pencil in the white flags on the adventure sheet. When all 14 walls are flying the black standard, then you have run out of time. The bracelet will perform its grisly task and you will die instantly. So there you have the actual 14 walls right there. Let's hope that each line of defense is more impenetrable than the last was. After that, you've got quite a nice layout of the various little bits and pieces that you get, so all these stamina and skill and whatnot of the various monsters. Here's one thing I've always wondered though: why bother having these encounter boxes when the actual enemies themselves... Let's just see if I've got an example right here somewhere. Yeah, they're actually listed right here. All you really need in that case is a separate piece of paper and just mark them down. But they give you, a built-in sheet anyhow. It's a nice thought, but sometimes you wonder, is it actually even necessary? You get your background, quite a bit of background, and then you're shown to the escape tunnel. Now, a lot of castles did have some sort of secret passage or not so secret passage, which would lead to some rear entrance that would be very, very small, very difficult to get to. A large army would not be able to penetrate it because it was so small, and it would be out of sight, out of mind. And the artwork there is quite good. It manages to sell that quite well. And then you've got a slightly different style of artwork. That's just something I didn't do here. I didn't read who had written the book and who did the art, which the actual story is by Luke Sharp with illustrations by David Gallagher. But he just seems to have changed his styles there. When you look at that art there, that's got a somewhat realistic approach to everything. Then the entire styling seems to change drastically to more of a sort of children's book type thing. Bit jarring. And then we get some rather nice dramatic battle imagery. Looks like a couple of saber-toothed tigers, some orcs, and at least 3 Valkyrie type women, one with a nice shield and one controlling the tigers. There's possibly some more in the background as well, hard to really tell, but you know, it still looks good. Some sort of mystery that you've got to solve with what looks like a couple of Buddhist monks. Wonder what those gestures are about. There must be something to do with the actual puzzle. All of these blocks are obviously numbered for some reason. And you've got to rescue another monk from these lizard men type thing. Oh, hang on. They're called dragon men. There's actually 3 of them that you have to fight. But guess what? Well, let's just take a look out. Let's go read through this text. You pull out your sword and run up the stone stairs. The small boy is screaming. You reach the top and the dragon men fly away in surprise. You chop at the chains, the boy breaks free, then looks up at you and begins to laugh. Suddenly, his whole body bursts open and magically another dragon man appears. So that's why there's 3 of them. And then the other 2 come back and you have to fight each of them in turn. Now some of the artwork there, I'm assuming that must be something quite unique, because it's obviously giving you some sort of mystery to solve. Some sort of 2-headed snake creature, a torch, dead body lost in the desert, that symbol again. So maybe it's not that unique after all. Somebody wants to give you some helping hands here. Yeah, stepping stones that could lead you to your doom, because I doubt those hands are actually going to help you. Look, somebody's tripped and fallen in the water. There's at least one guy waiting for you. Yeah. And it looks like we've got some samurai type things maybe, but completely wrong swords with samurai, so maybe the armour is sort of semi-influenced by that, or maybe it's just some sort of generic Viking type designs. I don't know, it seems to be incorporating lots of different design sets, as if though those particular warriors have just taken bits and pieces of armour from different people they've came across over the years, taking whatever they've liked the most. And here we go with the artwork, taking a sort of more semi-children type feel to it. I mean, that is a big dragon. I mean, look at the size of it compared to that man there. But all the same, the artwork does occasionally just seem to change its tone altogether. Here we are with some more sort of traditional one person versus the hordes of hell type art, and again it's done in a more sort of genre specific type adult material. And then we have this dragon man thing again, bursting through the stone walls, again looking quite in keeping with the previous art that we've just looked at. And this one takes a sort of combination of 2 different styles. I mean, the artist, what was his name again? The artist David Gallagher must basically specialise between 2 different styles, and he's obviously decided to make some decision there. Notice in this piece of art that there's a few cubes strung up here. You actually get to see that a few times every now and then. And this guy is called the Horned Devil. Well, the text, let's just see. You take pity on the old woman. She carries a small tabby cat and strokes it as tears roll down her cheeks. You get into the large bucket and she lowers you into the well. It's very gloomy, but you can see no sign of the fiddle. You're sure you hear cackling laughter, and then she shouts down to the echo and deep, "There you are, my beauty. More food for you." Suddenly a Horned Devil lunges out of the water, grabs you and pulls you under. You already have your sword out. Reduce your skill by 2 for this combat only. If you survive, you look up from the water and see that the rope is still hanging down. Then you see a gap in the stone blocked off to the side of the wall. What do you choose to do? Go through the gap or climb the rope? Let's climb the rope. It's a long way up. You climb hand over hand and have the odd rest, but it's very tiring. Deduct 2 points from your stamina. Just when you are close to the top, you see the flash of a knife and the rope is cut. Test your luck. If you're lucky, you find a handhold on the side of the wall and climb out. But you can see no trace of the old woman, but the kitten is standing on the roof of the well. If you're unlucky, you cannot cling on to anything, crash down. If you survive, you scamper into the hole you found. Let's go to 112 and just see what happened there. And you just carry on along the road. Okay, so nothing special there. There is something about that. Okay, all of these little dice type things, there is something in there that you need to keep an eye out for, I'm sure of it. Yes, it's on here as well. There is something about those dice that you got instructions on to look out for. I'll have to go back over the instructions again. But you can see that there's some sort of mahjong pieces here. It's not the same thing though. You've got a dragon and 3 Buddhist monks, but no sign of any dice. And they all seem to have cups of coffee with them for some reason. And that same hand gesture as well. Gonna have to give this a good proper thorough read through again, aren't I? We've got 2 people praying to this guy who seems to have a couple of hungry wolves with him. Fly, you fools! This foe is beyond you! Okay, we'll run. Yeah, that is, in case you didn't get it, a Balrog, and of course there's those white dice again. We have the obligatory teacher with, well, the abusive teacher with naughty children. We can all guess what he's going to be doing there, corporal punishment. Batman makes a cameo. Bruce Wayne has forgotten his cowl. Giant, which seems to be in the childish drawing style again. And some orcs or something with a little rat or mouse running across with those dice again. And that's done sort of, in a combination of the 2 styles again. It's this a sort of semi-genre-esque seriousness to it and a slight trace of childish drawings to it as well. And of course the obligatory people trying to steal something out of the swamp from the body that they've stabbed to death. Another monk with another riddle, and unfortunately I decided to try to solve it by drawing on it. That's my bad. Whoops, that'll be something I have to live with. I'm liking that little drawing there with the skeletal figure lying in rubbish, impaled with a flaming sword that seems to continuously burn forever. Not sure why. We've got a dwarf trapped inside the body of a dragon, I'm assuming. Either that or it's a really, really big bull of some sort. The amount of times I've gone through Skyrim and found tombs littered with dead bodies like that. That's not a Daedric Prince, of course, that's just the Wizard of Oz having a really bad day. Oh, it's the execution scene from the start of Skyrim again. This time it's the orcs doing the execution. Yeah. Will I survive? Well, probably if I roll 2 dice and get the right result. Gandalf's going a bit hardcore there. Oh dear, tentacles and what looks like a young woman fleeing for her life. She's got broken swords. Yeah, she definitely needs some help there. A samurai. Now, I've already looked at the samurai story, so I wonder what he's doing. This is some sort of crossover? I doubt it. But you've got lots of nice long roads here. Some encampment with various different suits of armours outside of different teepee type tents. This must be the bad guys. This must be early on when you're escaping from the Citadel to go off on your mission to relight the fires. More monks and more of these dice. They do play a rather important role. All those knights are quite sinister. They're all left-handed knights. Watch how they hold their shields with their right arms. I think there might be more to meet than this. Some girl and 2 dead orcs and a wrecked cart. Suddenly I'm in the mood for playing some Skyrim, but I've got a review to do. There's a map. Looks possibly like it's got something to do with some PlayStation controls. And I think we've got one more piece of art here. Yes, we've got the obligatory shop, a gnome, and what I'm assuming is a human. Might be a very clean-shaven, strategically dressed orc, but hard to really say. And then this is the guy that you sell all the cubes to or can buy things from. Right. Now, Fangs of Fury, as you might have gathered, the artwork is a bit on the, shall we say, it can vary a bit in quality. It's still quite good no matter what. It's just the style tends to, it just tends to fluctuate between a more sort of childish take on things and a more sort of adult take on things. You know, and by adult I mean more sort of genre specific. Like I said before, it's just bizarre. Sometimes it can be a bit disjarring in some regards, but you can tell it's by the same artist. It's just, I wish he'd managed to settle on a style. It could just be that he started off doing certain drawings in a certain style and then realised, oh, hang on, this isn't really that appropriate, but you know, I should up things a bit and make it a bit more graphic, so to speak. Not that there's anything particularly graphic in this. Dead bodies by themselves aren't particularly graphic in my mind. It's just, you know, what happened to them to make them that way. But again, the story's pretty decent. It's not let down by the art in any way. The gameplay is good. Those cubes do play a very important role. You'll find out why when you actually read through the book. I'm not going to tell you the reason why. I do know, but I'm not going to tell you right at this point. What I will say is that this is one of those books that does have a very, very good premise. And it does go through quite a lot of different elements that seem like they've been cherry-picked from certain areas, and they blend together quite nicely. This is quite a good exercise in creativity in my mind. That said, it might not necessarily be everybody's cup of tea because of the artwork, and that might just throw you off. But again, if you can put up with the slight fluctuation in art, again, if you can't put up with the slight fluctuations in art, that's not really going to be much of an issue, I think, in my mind. It's more the gameplay, and the gameplay, as always, is good and solid. There's nothing specifically unique about it beyond the falling walls and the fact that the bracelet will kill you if you don't succeed in your mission. But yeah, definitely worth looking into.